Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a story that's been rattling around in my head. A tale of secrets hidden behind locked doors and the echoes of a past that just won't stay buried. Get ready, because this one might just send a shiver down your spine. When I was a kid, my parents had one steadfast rule, etched into the very fabric of our family home. Never, under any circumstances, open the door at the end of the hallway. I can tell you, I never really asked why. There was just something about that door, and frankly, some of the other doors in that old house, that felt like they were watching you. You know that feeling, like they were breathing in your silence, just waiting for you to get close enough to listen to whatever secrets they held. It wasn't until I was 28, when my mother passed away, that I finally had a reason to go back home. And let me tell you, that house, it remembered me. Every creak, every shadow, every silent whisper seemed to call my name. Going back to that house was like stepping into a different dimension. My father, he didn't hug me. He barely spoke a word, just a gruff, "Your room's still upstairs." My brother Evan, well, he avoided my eyes the whole time. It was like a new person was wearing his skin, colder, more distant. The air in the house was so heavy, it felt like grief had seeped into the very walls, staining everything with sadness. But it wasn't just grief. It was something else, something waiting, lurking in the corners, under the stairs, just out of sight. And there it was. The door, still at the end of the hall, still locked tight. The same brass handle, worn smooth by time. The same keyhole, sealed shut with that stark red wax. I remember asking Dad about it, asking him what was behind it. He just froze, mid-breath, his eyes wide and vacant. "You don't open what's been sealed with blood," he said, his voice barely a whisper. That night, sleep wouldn't come. I woke up to a faint knocking coming from behind that forbidden door. 3 distinct knocks, then absolute silence, and then the air filled with my mother's perfume. Sweet, familiar, and utterly impossible. The next day, I had to ask Evan. I had to know if he'd heard it too, if I was losing my mind. He just shrugged, looking away. "The pipes, Maya. Just the pipes," but I saw it in his eyes, that flicker of fear. He was terrified to even look down that hallway, let alone acknowledge what might be lurking there. That night, I couldn't resist. I stood there again, at the end of the hall, my hand trembling on that old brass handle. I whispered, "Mom," and from behind the door, clear as day, I heard my own voice whisper back, "Maya." It was chilling, a voice that was mine, yet not mine. I couldn't take it anymore. The suspense, the whispers, the chilling perfume, it was all too much. I had to know. With a surge of adrenaline, I broke the lock. The moment the seal was broken, a rush of dust and the scent of something ancient, something long forgotten, billowed out. Inside, it was a small nursery. 2 cribs stood side by side. A rocking chair sat still, waiting. The wallpaper was faded with time, but I could still clearly read the names written above the cribs. Maya, Evelyn. My heart just stopped. Evelyn, I never had a sister. At least, that's what I'd always been told. What was going on? Underneath the rocking chair, almost hidden, I found a box. Inside, it held a treasure trove of forgotten memories, hospital documents, old newspaper clippings, and a faded photograph. It was my mother, younger, smiling, holding two babies, twins, me, and her. The second baby's record, Evelyn's record, had a chilling note. Subject transferred. St. Hallow Institute. St. Hallow. I'd never heard of it. I searched the name online, and what I found turned my blood cold. It was a psychiatric hospital closed decades ago for unethical experimentation, and it was only 30 miles from our home. The pieces of this terrifying puzzle were starting to click into place. That night, the knocking returned, but this time it wasn't faint. It was louder, more desperate, like someone was trying to break through. I couldn't hold back. I shouted, "Evelyn, if you're real, tell me what you want." The knocking stopped instantly. Then, a whisper, cold and clear, echoed through the silence. "I want my life back." Panic surged through me. I ran to my father's room. He was sitting on the floor, clutching that same photograph, the one of the twins. "We tried to forget," he whispered, his voice broken. "Your mother, she made a deal. We sealed the room with her blood so Evelyn couldn't come back." I screamed, "She's here, Dad. She's in the house." He looked up at me, tears streaming down his face, and said the words that would haunt me forever. "No, Maya, she's in you." My vision blurred. The walls of the house seemed to pulse like veins, throbbing with a dark energy. I watched, horrified, as the nursery melted into darkness, the two cribs merging, dissolving into one. I stumbled towards a mirror, and my reflection split. One face smiled, a chilling, triumphant grin. The other cried, tears streaming down. "You took my name," a voice whispered. "My voice, yet not my voice. Now, I'll take yours." The lights exploded around me, showering the room with sparks. The door slammed shut behind me with a final echoing bang. The next morning, my brother, Evan, found the door to the nursery wide open. The room was clean, immaculate, as if untouched for years. My father was gone. My car was gone. But on the wall, hanging side by side, were two freshly painted portraits, both labeled with the same name, Evelyn. And if you look closely enough at one of them, it still moves. Some doors stay locked for a reason, my friends. Because once you open them, they remember who you are. Thank you so much for tuning in to this chilling tale. If you found yourself caught up in the mystery, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. We appreciate all your support.